Om Shri Sai Ram. We now move on to the next panel discussion based on grounding self, basic tenets of spirituality. Without any further ado, I invite the moderator of the session, Dr. K.M. Ganesh. Brother Ganesh is an alumnus of the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning and has a PhD in analytical chemistry. He later pursued postdoctoral research and has been closely associated with the Medical Device Development Program at Star Labs, Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. Alongside his academic and research pursuits, Brother Ganesh has actively contributed to cultural, service, sports, and spiritual activities of the Institute. He has conducted study circles, participated in panel discussions, and delivered talks during the Prashanti Vidwan Mahasabha and other festive occasions. Since 2022, he has also been associated with Sri Sathya Sai Leadership through Self-Transformation. With this rich academic, research, and spiritual background, I now warmly invite Brother K.M. Ganesh to join us on stage.
Sai Ram. We are happy to welcome someone whose life is closely connected with Bhagwan through singing. I am sure you know the answer. Bhajans and Sri Ravi Kumar sir are truly synonymous. And he is our next panelist. At the age of 7, he joined Sri Sathya Sai Vidya Vihar Uti, and from then on, his journey with Swami began. He completed his BCom and MBA at Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning and received the All-Rounder Gold Medal for his overall excellence. In 1993, with Bhagwan's blessings, he started serving at the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences, Puttaparthi. Even today, he continues his service there as a senior manager in the departments of radiology and urology. He has also been blessed to sing in Mandir since his school days till today. We are honored to have him with us on this panel. Please join me in warmly welcoming Sri Ravi Kumar sir.
Sai Ram. Coming up is our next panelist who also needs no introduction, Sri K.R. Vedanarayanan sir. His entire life has been guided by Bhagwan and sanctified by the sacred sound of the Vedas. Sri Vedanarayanan sir came to Swami in 1969 as part of the very first batch of Sri Sathya Sai Bal Vihar students. His journey with Swami's institutions began in 1976, and he is a proud alumnus of the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Brindavan. Following Bhagwan's guidance, he completed his master's in philosophy from Bangalore University, earning first rank and a gold medal. He then went on to complete his master's in Sanskrit from Mysore University, once again securing a rank. He currently serves as a Sanskrit teacher at Sri Sathya Sai Higher Secondary School, Prashanti Nilayam. For nearly 5 decades, he has been leading the early morning Vedic chanting in the ashram. In 2004, he was honored with the National Award for Best Teachers by erstwhile President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. As he humbly says, his greatest blessing is chanting the Vedas in the presence of the Veda Purusha, our beloved Swami. We are truly honored to have him with us today. Please join me in warmly welcoming Sri Vedanarayanan sir. Sai Ram.
साई राम। आज के सत्र में आगे बढ़ते हुए मुझे भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा के एक और आध्यात्मिक सेवक श्री मुरली जाजू जी का परिचय कराते हुए अत्यंत प्रसन्नता हो रही है। श्री मुरली जाजू जी श्री सत्य साई सेवा संगठन भारत के नेशनल स्पिरिचुअल कोऑर्डिनेटर है। व्यावसायिक क्षेत्र में आप एक इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट है जिनका टेक्सटाइल, बॉक्साइट और शुगर मिल्स का व्यवसाय है। श्री मुरली जाजू जी अपनी श्रृंखला दिल से दिल तक में स्वामी के सानिध्य में बिताए गए उन गौरवशाली क्षणों को याद करते हैं और उन अद्भुत प्रसंगों को साझा करते हैं कि कैसे स्वामी उनके जीवन में परिवर्तन लाए। आइए अब हम श्री मुरली जाजू जी को स्टेज पर इस पैनल डिस्कशन में शामिल होने के लिए आमंत्रित करते हैं। श्री मुरली जाजू जी, साई राम।
Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering ourselves at Bhagavan's divine lotus feet, esteemed elders, dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. The topic of this panel discussion is grounding self, basic tenets of spirituality. So I was going through this. What is this grounding self? Some of them actually define grounding means being in the present. Being connected with the ground is the literal sense from where the word grounding has come. There's a saying that if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. So that is where this concept of grounding is there, that when you have to stand firmly, you need to have a very strong foundation. Today, everybody wants to have a 10-story, 20-story, 30-story building. They want to go up into the sky. But nobody is bothered to build the foundation. Until unless you have a strong foundation, you cannot go high. So it's very important that you build a very strong foundation. With that perspective, seeing that Swami has given so much of importance to bhajans, Vedam, Dhyana, and there are many other tools that Swami has given. But primarily, it is very obvious that Swami has given so much of importance to these three pillars as foundation. We have three of our elders sitting here with decades of experience and direct guidance from Bhagwan. From them, we will try to capture some key lessons that they have learnt at the lotus feet of Bhagwan. We'll commence with Vedam. We always start the Mandir session with Vedam. So we'll start with Ved Narayan sir. In fact, Swami told that one of the main reason of this avatar is Veda Poshana, Vidvat Poshana. And Swami started Veda Purusha Sapta Jnana Yagdam way back in 1962. And later in the 2000s, sometime 2003, 2004, around 2003, Swami encouraged everybody to take up Vedam. So we would like to ask Ved Narayan sir, we all hear the word Vedam, Vedam. What is the right perspective or understanding of the word Vedam? What does Vedam means? Thank you.
Sai Ram. I know it requires a lot of effort for you for a session like this before lunch. So my job is to induce you to sleep, and Ravi Kumar will wake you up. And Murali sir, he will take you beyond sleep. All of us, we want to have a happy, peaceful, prosperous life. But then, unless we follow a dharmic life, it is not possible. Now, if you consider dharma as a tree, the roots of the tree are in Vedas. That is why Bhagavan gave so much of importance to Vedas. Now, because of the time limitation, I will not go into details. What are these Vedas? These Vedas are Shabda Brahma. They are sound vibrations. And the entire creation happened because of these sound vibrations. And the sages of yore, they wanted to find out the secrets of this universe. So, in the depth of silence, they could hear these sound waves. And for the sake of humanity, they brought out in an understandable manner. These sound waves are present everywhere. Then the next question, obviously, you will ask, why can't we hear it? Why only sages? I am sure you will all agree with me. If I have a radio set here, I can tune into the station Bangalore and exactly I can get those waves or those sounds. So also sitting here very much, little bit of tuning, I can get Radio New York. You all agree with me. So all these sound waves are around us. Then why we cannot hear? The tuning in is important. So also sages, they made use of their body with their control of senses. With one pointedness, they could grasp these sound waves. In fact, our human ears can hear the sound waves only between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. In fact, dogs are better. 40,000 up to that, they can hear. That is why the dog whistle, some of you have no, we can't hear that, but the dogs will come running. So these sound waves, they are present everywhere. And these sound waves, the entire creation has come. God has created the entire creation in a perfect equilibrium, where everyone is expected to follow their dharma. Birds, they follow their dharma. The animals, they follow their dharma, except human beings. We don't follow any of the dharmas. We are so greedy. Okay, there is enough things in this world for everybody's need, not for everybody's greed. So what happens in our greed, we started invading the nature. We pump out all the petroleum products. We create all the air pollutions and water pollutions and whatnot. And in turn, what the nature does, it comes down heavily on us in the form of tsunamis, in the form of earthquakes, and all these disasters. We cut down trees and we increase the temperature of the globe. So where is the, so who is ultimately, who is getting everything nature is giving back to us? But then you may say, I have been righteous in my life. Why should I suffer? When the flood comes, I am also the affected party. But why I should? Of course, when a mosquito bites you, you bring a spray and spray it all around. All the other mosquitoes also dies. They can ask the same question, why me? I didn't bite you, yeah? So also here, when the calamity comes, it doesn't discriminate. That is why Bhagavan thought that it is better to bring back, because these are all sound vibrations. If the original sound vibrations can be pumped into the system, then we can bring back the normalcy to great extent. I will give you an example here. Suppose there is a placid lake. You throw a pebble into that. What happens? Series of ripples of waves comes. Is it not? Not only in that place, up till the edge. Now, I wanted to somehow stop this ripple. Is it possible for me? I cannot. So what I do, I sit on the bank, slightly tap the water on the edge. What happens? The waves which is coming from where the pebble has fallen, and the waves which I created on the side of the pool, it comes in between and it normalizes. Are you able to get this picture? Same thing we are going to do here. Where, because of this calamity, the original creative sound vibration which was in balance has been disturbed. So Bhagavan wants each one of us to learn Vedas, because 1 or 2% doing it is not going to help. So many of us creating that positive vibrations, the sound vibration, the Vedic vibration, you know how many of the earthquakes we have stopped, we have no idea. How many of the tsunamis we have stopped, we have no idea. So that is what basically, it has got that much power. Again, you may ask a question. Sir, if sound vibrations are everywhere, why we should create separate sound vibrations? In a matchbox and matchstick, fire is there, but it is not going to burn you. When it burns you, when you strike a matchstick, that flame can consume the entire forest to the entire world. So also, these sound vibrations are there. It is our responsibility to create that positive vibrations so that this become a great service to the humanity, no, to the entire creation.
Sir, one of the very frequently asked question is, if one were to start chanting Vedam, what is a personal discipline or rules and regulation one has to follow in day-to-day life? And also there is a resistance, because I think this is overblown, that if you make mistakes while chanting Vedam, you know, it may have some adverse effect. That also is one of the reasons why youngsters are little resistant. But in general, what is the regular discipline that one should maintain in their life if they take up Vedam?
Yes. What distinguished Vedas are the way in which you chant them. Because there is what are called Udatta, Anudatta, Swarita, and Dirgha Swarita. These are the 4 usual. Udatta means there is no, it is chanted in a plain way. Anudatta is down. Then Swarita is an upward, and Dirgha Swarita, it is in double way. These are the usual classification, and Vedas have to be chanted in this way. Why not some other way? Sir, what happens if I chant normally without this? Because remember that what gives meaning to the Vedas are these particular Udatta, Anudatta, and not the words themselves. Does it mean that word doesn't have meaning? Of course, words do have meaning. But actual meaning is not that. If you know the Sanskrit, for example, let us say, Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha. What is the actual meaning of that? The cosmic person has got 1,000 heads. Sahasrachaha, he has got 1,000 eyes. Have you ever seen a being like that? One with 1,000 head and 1,000 eyes. You tell a child, the child will say, sir, then it should be 2,000 eyes. All these of funny kind of meaning will come out of it. So that is not the actual meaning. Bhagavan said, what do you mean by Sahasra Shirashaha Purushaha? Whomever you meet, they are the embodiment of gods. Sahasrakshaha. Bhagavan said, with 2 eyes you are able to comprehend so much in this universe. When the Lord who is having 1,000 eyes is omniscient to express that. So these are the inner meaning of the Vedas and not the actual. It is not the, so when you say Sahasrashira, so the Udartha, Anudatta, they are the actual one which gives the meaning. Sir, just by chanting in a wrong way, can the meaning change? It is the same words that I am using. Sahasrashirisha Purusha, what is so great about it? Can the just the intonation, can it make a difference? A funny incident happened, I wanted to narrate with you. It was the Unity concert time. The Swami used to sit for the whole program in the Purnachandra auditorium. And few of us, we had the chance of serving Swami inside his room. So we couldn't come out of the room. For our sake, they had kept a TV there to watch the program. So it was Swami's inside room. So we were sitting on the floor. Next to that, there are some sofas, chairs put. Usually any guest comes, Swami sits on the sofa for talking. So 2 of the artists, now of course they are the great singers of India. 2 of these girls, they happened, that time they were young girls, they peeped inside, they saw the TV is there. So they saw the empty chairs, they thought that this is the best place to sit and watch. So we were sitting on the ground, these girls came and sat there to watch the program. Of course, we did not mind, because they don't know our discipline, so they came and sat there. Abruptly, suddenly Swami walks in there. Suddenly, these girls, they are seeing Swami for the first time. They bow down to Swami. Swami nicely smiled at them, blessed them. Good girls, good girls. Swami blessed them. We were already standing, we were standing in that corner. He came to us and, good girls, good girls. Swami used the same words for them, and Swami used the same words to us. Intonation difference, meaning changes. So, intonation has to do so much there. And another beautiful thing of these Vedas are, whatever Bhagavan has said, it is from the Vedas. You can always find an equivalent thing. For example, Swami talks so much on service. Swami talks so much on service. Bhagavan says, in fact, how to serve is beautifully given in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Shraddhaya deyam, you serve with sincerity. Ashraddhaya deyam, if you don't have sincerity, better not do the job. Sriya deyam, serve with magnanimity. Then Hriya deyam, but at the same time, don't have the ego that you are doing. Do with humility, Hriya deyam. Bhiyadeyam. Make sure that, oh Lord, by this service, let it not cause any problem for that. This much of directions is already there in the Taittiriya Upanishad. How to serve? That is what Bhagavan says. Service to humanity is service to God. And further it continues. Yedite karma vijikitsava vritta vijikitsava syad. Yatha etatra brahmanaha sammarishinaha yatha te tatra varteran tatha te tatra vartedhaha. Beautiful. Bhagavan say, if you have any doubts regarding an action or a conduct, etatra brahmanaha sammarishinaha, all the learned people, elders, those who are there, go to them, ask them, find out how to conduct yourself like that. That is why now all the state presidents who had so much of interaction with Bhagavan, they have been zonal presidents, so that we can go and find out from them how actually go about with it. Everything is so beautifully explained in the Vedas.
Sir, since this course is on self-transformation, if you could share some tangible benefits, because there's no end to a limit of patience, especially among youth. We know that patience is one factor which may run out after some time. So, if there are any tangible example of individual and collective benefits of Veda chanting.
Absolutely. I can give my own personal example here. I think brother introduced me that I got first rank gold medal in philosophy. I am not ashamed to tell you that my 10th class, I passed with a third class. That is the truth. I am not ashamed to tell you, brothers. But after I came to Swami's college, Swami asked me to learn Vedas. So now you know where I got the first rank from. Because this increases. One thing is that your grasping power and memory. That is what, by chanting the Vedic mantras, see, these are mantra swarupahi devataha. All the gods are in the form of mantra. That is why mantra is so very, very powerful when you chant. You chant the Gayatri mantra or any other mantra for that matter. Gayatrim Chandasam Mada. For all the Vedas, Gayatri mantra is like the mother. So, this has got so much of power. Second thing is your breathing. Your breathing become deep and steady because for Veda chanting, that is a must. Your lungs become very, very strong. When the oxygen supply is more, naturally, your blood circulation improves, your BP comes down. And there is a toning effect on all your nerve centers. And all these things happens because of the Veda chanting, it get added on to you. Not only that, it has got the other effects also. There comes to a stage that you don't start praying anything for yourself. To be honest with you, I never pray for myself. Always I pray for others. When you pray for others, God sees to it that you have no problem that need to be prayed for. And just a simple example I'll tell you. Long time back, almost 10 years back, I had been teaching Vedam for one of the group of street childrens. Those who are present, some foreigners have taken up and they are taking care of them. I used to teach them Vedam. That there was an amazing group I have found in my life. Within 1 week, they used to pick up a mantra. See, this is not ordinarily possible. Unless God's grace is there, it is just impossible. And they had a dog, pet dog in the house. And it had some problem, and it was taken to the vet. And he told, sorry, we can't do anything much about it. We have to put him to sleep. They said, nothing doing. They brought it back. You know what they did? Continuous 3 days, they sat around it. They started chanting Rudram. Morning and evening, they continuously chanted Rudram. The third day, the dog just got up with full energy. It lived for another 8 years. It was already 9 years at that time. It lived for another 8 years. So, Swami used to say, Rudram cheste bhadranga untavu. When you chant Rudram, you will be safeguarded. Not only that, when you start praying, always the entire universe is benefited. This is no selfish prayer. When you start praying for it, that is why Bhagavan says, Samasta lokaha sugino bhavantu. Let everyone, everywhere, not only human beings, let all the other beings, let them all be happy and peaceful all the time. So it becomes, when you start praying for others, you also become one person in that. If you permit me, actually there is a, because no, you all wanted, immediately you wanted to see the effect. There is a small clip of a video. There is a huge fury of a cyclone. And how chanting of a Yamunashtakam, the whole thing comes down within seconds. If I can have that video, please.
If you can play that video, please.
सिद्धि है तुमका मुरारी पंकज सुरन मंडरेणु कटम कटकानना प्रकट मोद पुष्पाम्बुना सुरासुर सुबोधिता स्मरपितो श्रियं बिभ्रति कलिंद गिरिमस्तके पद्ममंद पूरोज्ज्वला विलास नवनोस प्रकट गंड शैलोन्नता सरोष रतिदंतुरा समधिरोधोलोत्तमा मुकुंद रतिवर्धिनी जयति पद्मबंधु सुता भुवन भुवन पावनी मलिक दामने कस्वने प्रियाभिर्सेविता सुमयूरहंसा दिवि तरंगा भुजगंगा प्रणमूर्ति
Just wait, not yet.
निडंबाटल सुंदरी नमत कृष्ण तोर्य प्रिय अनंत गुणभूषिते शिवविरंचिते वस्तुते गणागण निवेशदा गोपराशरा भीषते विशुद्ध अमराते सकल गोपवो वीरते कृपा जल विशंसिते मम मन सकं भावया गया चरण पद्मजा मुररिपो मिगं भावुका समागमन तो सकल सिद्धिदा सेवता कया सदामिया कमल जात पत्नी वयत हरि प्रिय कलिंदय मनसि मे सदा श्रीयता नमोस्तु यमुने सदा तव चरित्रमाद्यद्भुतं दयातु यमयातना भवति कृपया पानता यमोऽपि भगिनीसुतान् कथमो हन्ति दुष्टानपि प्रियो भवति सेवना तव हरे यथा गोपिका ममास्तु तव सन्निधो तनुवतु मे तावता न दुर्लभतमारति मुररिपो मुकुन्द प्रिये.
So, in fact, Vedic chanting, this is only a stotra, mind you. Vedic chanting is so very, very powerful. And this is the disaster management actually. Prevention better than the cure. So, the greatest disaster management each one of you can do selflessly service is that pray to God, learn the Vedas and chant it daily, and not only you will get benefited, the entire universe is going to get benefited. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, when Swami says we are all children of immortality, we should believe it. I mean, this video itself shows the power of Veda chanting, and what we speak, what we chant will echo in eternity. So we should not take our words lightly. In the interest of time, we'll move to the bhajan module. Brother Ravi Kumar, you've been singing bhajans for more than 4 decades. In your experiential observation and learning, sitting at Bhagwan's lotus feet, why do you think Swami has given so much of importance to bhajan singing in his mission of transformation through love? And to break it down, God's name, the sound and music, when it is combined together, what is its effect on our mind, our emotions, and our spiritual growth?
Sairam to all of you. Vednarayan sir has already covered a lot of detail about the importance of sound, sound waves, the importance of words, the importance of intonation. So in Vedam, I think there are just, he said there are just four steps of intonation. Whereas in bhajan singing, you know, there are a lot, many intended, many unintended intonations that come during bhajans when we sing. Let me start by quoting Swami. Okay, what Swami has said, he said, when we talk about grounding ourselves, Swami says, in this busy age of fear and anxiety, that means we are busy being fearful and anxious. In this busy age of fear and anxiety, the remembrance of God and repetition of His name is the means of liberation that is accessible to all. Right? Don't we all know so? That is the means which is accessible to all and which Swami has kind of mandated in our daily lives through either Vedam chanting or through Sai bhajans. So let me just take you through the power of the sound first. Just hear this sound. Could you hear that? What is that? Just any bell? Temple bell. Yeah? Nothing was spoken, you just heard the sound, right? And it evoked within you some kind of an emotion, right? Because it's a temple bell. You immediately feel, you feel a little holy, right? Listen to this. Yeah, what is this? Any door? Yeah, it's a creaky door. And did it, yeah, it's annoying. Sometimes maybe fearful if you're looking at a castle, you know, a new moon night with a door creaking. Yeah, midnight. So you have the whole drama around it. Nothing was told, right? It's just a sound. Imagine this is the power that a sound can have on our being. A sound, when it becomes a word, yeah? So, for example, fire. You know, the moment you say fire, what happens? It is not just the fear of, it is not just the feeling of fear within us. Our legs start to move. We start running away. Probably Colonel Narayanan and his group start running towards the fire extinguisher. There is no fire. We have not even seen the fire yet. But it evokes. The power of the word is so much, it evokes fear within us and starts making us take action. And we all know, right, whether it is friends or enemies or frenemies, what hurts us most is not any physical hurt that happens to us. A word that is said, you know, that hurts here. Arey, andar laga yaar. And it stays for years. Nothing happened. There's no physical, no cardiac surgery happened. But in that heart of ours, that word hurt us. That is the power of a word. It can evoke all kinds of emotions within us. So Swami has said, Swami has given these examples and said, if a word like fire can evoke such emotions in you, imagine the power of the name of the one who has made the fire. Right? Imagine what power would be there in his name. Okay, now we know the power of the sound, power of the word. And the power of the word, that is God. Next thing Swami says is, yeah, you all pray to me, you can say your prayer, or you can sing a prayer to me, Swami says. He gives the example of Saint Tyagaraja, and Swami so, you know, in his inimitable, beautiful, sweet voice, he says, Tyagaraja could have said, Rama, you know, Tyagaraja needed saving from Lord Rama many times in his lives. He could have just said, Rama, nannu kapadu ra. And Lord Rama would have come running to save him. But he said, no. Tyagaraja said, Rama nannu kapadu ra. Rama nannu kapadu ra. Swami says, see, this is the difference. So when Tyagaraja prays like this, it is so difficult for Lord Rama not to run to him. And so this is the example that Lord Sai Rama is telling us, that you pray. Yes, I will listen to the prayers that come from the depth of your heart. But if you add a little music to it, you know, I'm just going to come double X speed, you know, 2x speed. So that is what Swami says is the importance of adding some music. I don't have to go into it. It will become a bhajan workshop if I say how the efficacy of of music on us, etc. We all know, we all enjoy bhajans, but these are some of the things that Swami says why we should do bhajans and how it would help us. And Swami, yes, as I already mentioned, Namasmarana is the path to liberation in Kali Yuga. Swami says, as Vednarayan sir said, when we do it together, right, what Swami says is this name of God, when it is sung, they are like antibiotics, Swami says. Nothing less. Is the whole atmosphere is filled with impurities of all kinds, not just the physical impurities. More important, like I said, the hurt in the heart. Like that, the impurities in the mind are more dangerous than all the, AQI limits of Delhi. The more dangerous than all that is the impurity in the mind. Swami says this bhajan singing is the antibiotic that will purify our mind. And he says it is a continuum. He says once it goes, the sound waves go to the atmosphere, those clouds transform into rain. The rain falls down on the crops. The crops, they give us the food that we eat. And the food that we eat makes our mind. So everything starts, from the good word going up, and that comes down and that makes our mind. And that mind makes what we speak again. So this is a beautiful continuum that we can achieve through God's name. And we always like to say that, Swami, when he started the organization, we say the first door into the Sai organization for a lot of people is through Sai bhajans. There are a lot of people who knew nothing about Swami. They probably just heard strains of Swami's bhajan somewhere, and through that they came. And Swami started his mission with Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam. Yeah, we normally tend to stop with this. Swami started with bhajan, so we should sing bhajan. But why are we singing bhajan? Dustara Bhavasagara Taranam. That is the whole idea. Bhavasagara Taranam. Lord, purify me and take me across this ocean. That is the whole idea of singing bhajans.
As I was actually doing my research on why bhajans, because I was preparing also for asking the question, one of the things which I came across, like we all know, that each Nama, God's name, have got Bijakshara. For example, the word Rama has got 3 Bijakshara. It has got the Surya Bija, Agni Bija, and Chandra Bija. So what does the Agni Bija does? It burns off the negative or the Papa tendency inside us. The Surya Bija enlightens, it gives us the clarity. And the Chandra Bija, which is also very important, calms down our emotions. So the word Rama itself is so powerful. And one very contemporary example which Swami gives is like how bhajan is so unique, because when we are adding music to the name, we are evoking bhava, the emotions. So it is like, the name is like the bullet, Swami says, but if you throw bullet at the target, it is not that effective. But when you load that bullet into the gun and shoot, it gains that momentum. And that momentum comes with that bhavam. Okay, so simply dry chanting, of course, chanting is any day better than not chanting. But when you do it with understanding of the meaning and with the feeling, it has got a total different impact.
In fact, as you're saying, the word Rama has got this powerful, these 3 bijas. When we take the example of sage Valmiki, always this thought comes saying that we say the word Rama is very, very powerful, chanted. But did sage Valmiki, when he was still the dacoit Ratnakara, when he became sage Valmiki, did he chant Rama? What did the sages ask him to chant? Mara. Not even Rama. So he did not even have the understanding of the word Rama. But while saying Rama, 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 it became Rama. That is the power of the word Rama. Other thing is, even if you don't know the meaning, we always insist that you should know the meaning. As Sir said, if you know the meanings of everything that we chant, it makes so much sense to our lives. If he didn't know who Rama was, but the word is so powerful, he didn't even know the word Rama, but what did he chant it with? The feeling that if he chanted this mantra, he is going to get relieved of all the sins that he has accumulated. He had full faith. So the word, along with the faith that you use to chant it, that is the potent combination.
Thank you, brother. The main objective, if I were to say, if we are understanding, is to connect to Bhagwan. If we are able to connect to Bhagwan, in that context, how does bhajan help us in connecting with Bhagwan one-to-one per se, if one were to try to have a conversation with Swami?
Okay. Yeah, there are various ways of having conversations with Swami. We have different emotions as we go through the day, right? We say, just don't talk to Swami. Don't talk to Swami. Sing to Swami every moment. And we always say that Swami says, because this is all choral singing. See, bhajan singing is not just the person who's singing with a mic in front of him. If that was true, it was only, only about 100 people are going to get the benefit. In fact, 99.9% of the people are those who are following bhajans. So Swami says the impact is more for the devotees who are trying to pray to Swami. So these are the benefits of choral singing. So all of us are praying to Swami during our half an hour or 45 minutes of bhajan singing. And Swami says, don't limit your bhajan singing only to your half an hour or 45 minutes. Do it throughout the day. How can you do it throughout the day? We'll just close with some examples probably of that. Can you, just...
You're closing the bhajan module.
Closing the bhajan module. So, we can actually, when you're happy, what do you think you can sing to Swami? Any bhajan that comes to your mind. You're happy, or it's not joyous happy, it's happiness with gratitude, say. Anandamaya Bhagavan, okay. Atma Rama, Ananda Sagaraya. Anand se bolo Jai Baba Jaya. Yeah, I'm sure each of us have our personal bhajan to connect with Swami. We say there is no one correct answer. It can't be, right? Each of us individually connect to bhajans and individually we connect to Swami. Yeah? You want to say, if I'm grateful to you, Swami, Koti Pranam, Shata Koti Pranam. Right? Just, you're sad. We don't want to be sad, but yeah, we are sad. We didn't get a promotion, we didn't get marks. So many reasons. Temporarily sad. Yeah, so many Daya
Karo bhajans.
Daya Karo bhajans, yeah. So even, yeah, so, Premamrit barsao Baba Daya Karo Bhagavan Kripa Karo Bhagavan. Yeah, we'll come to choral singing. We will sing a bhajan in the end. That's the whole idea of this. Yeah. Yeah, if you're asking God for something, ask God for something. Vinati suno. Yes, Vinati suno. Tere siva Prabhu koi nahi. Okay. Mujhe shakti do, mujhe bhakti do, Sai Mata Pita. Araj suno. Araj suno mere param kripalu. What are we asking for? Like I said, Manasa Bhajare also has the inner meaning in that is Dustara Bhavasagara Taranam. That's what we're asking. Araj suno mere param kripalu. Janam maran se par karo. That is what we should pray for. Lord, relieve me from this journey of birth and death. That is a prayer we should have. Okay, we have had Daya Karos. We are not asking Swami for anything. We are just peaceful and we want to communicate with him through a bhajan. हाँ साई प्रेम दो, शांति दो, पार करो, उद्धार करो. ओके, पीसफुल, आनंदमय भगवान. या प्रातस्मरणम श्री गुरु चरणम. No, just think of a peaceful bhajan. Nothing, just sit, meditate, which we will come to. Jaju sir will just speak to you about that. But just, if you have to think about a bhajan which will come with that, Narayana Hari Narayana, Bhajan Narayana, Sai Narayana. Narayana Hari Narayana, Narayana 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 Sai Narayana. Narayana Hari Narayana, Jaya Narayana Sai Narayana. Narayana Hari Narayana, Jaya Narayana Sai Narayana. Narayana Hari Narayana, Narayana Sai Narayana. Narayana Hari Narayana, Narayana Sai Narayana. Narayana Hari Narayana, Bhajan Narayana Sai Narayana.
With this bhajan, actually, we can directly dive deep into meditation. So, Murli sir, what is dhyana? What is dhyana? What is meditation? What you have learned at Bhagwan's lotus feet? And what are its benefits?
हम सभी के हृदय में वास करने वाले भगवान को कोटि कोटि प्रणाम. साई राम. दो वाइब्रेशन के बाद साइलेंट में जाना है. अच्छा है आपने खाना नहीं खाया, नहीं तो सो जाते. ध्यान को स्वामी ने हम सबको बताया हुआ है करने के लिए, और उसके पहले जो माइंड प्रिपेयर होना चाहिए, क्यों ध्यान करना है, और माइंड प्रिपेयर नहीं है तो ध्यान कैसे होगा. तो स्वामी ने बताते वक्त जब ध्यान, ऐसा ही बोला है, क्योंकि माइंड अगर ठीक नहीं होगा तो ध्यान नहीं कर सकते. पहले ध्यान क्या है ये भी एक बार हम समझ लेते हैं. एक बार मैं भजन मंदिर में बैठा था, द कुलवंत हॉल में, और तभी म्यूज़िक बजता था स्वामी आने के पहले. तो अभी तक म्यूज़िक स्टार्ट ही नहीं हुआ था, तो मैं बैठा था, तो मैंने सोचा कि थोड़ी देर ध्यान करते हैं. और मैं ध्यान प्रोसेस में जब शुरू किया, और उसके बाद मैं खो गया. कभी ऐसा होता नहीं है, लेकिन उस दिन हो गया ऐसा कि मैं खो गया. म्यूज़िक स्टार्ट हो गया, स्वामी लेडीज़ साइड भी कवर करके जेंट्स साइड में भी आ गए. और जनरली ऐसा होता है कि जो बाजू बैठा हुआ है, जो जाग रहा है, वो उठाता है, हे स्वामी आ गए. लेकिन उस दिन वो भी नहीं हुआ, और स्वामी आए और मेरे सामने खड़े रहे. ये मुझे बाद में पता चला. सबके लेटर लिए स्वामी ने, लास्ट में उन्होंने मेरे सर पे हाथ रखा। जैसे स्वामी ने सर पे हाथ रखा तो मेरी आंखें खुल गई, और जैसे स्वामी थे तो स्पीचलेस हो गया। कुछ जो चाहिए वो सामने था। और मेरे को बोला, ए क्या करता है? मैंने कहा, स्वामी ध्यान करता है। क्या ध्यान करता है? मैं बोला, स्वामी सब कुछ आप है, ऐसा ध्यान करता है। सब कुछ मैं है? मैंने कहा, हाँ स्वामी सब कुछ आप है। सब कुछ मैं है तो आंखें बंद काहे को करता है? और उस दिन स्वामी ने ध्यान, क्या ध्यान, ये बता ही दिया। आंखें बंद करो, ऐसा सब सोचो कि सब कुछ मैं है। आंखें खोलो, ऐसा देखो सब कुछ मैं है। ये ध्यान है। हम सबका जो हुआ है कि हम सब एक हैं, और एक होते हुए भी सब में अपने आप को महसूस नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि देह में हम एक नहीं हो सकते, मन में हम एक नहीं हो सकते, क्योंकि हमारे विचार अलग अलग हैं। यहाँ जो हम सब बैठे हैं ना, उस मन में एक बात पक्की है कि हम सब भगवान के लिए आए, बाबा के लिए आए। ये हमारा सबका एक है, उसमें फुल फेथ है हमारा। लेकिन एक में एक ऐसी बात है कि जिसमें हम सब एक हैं, और वो है आत्मा। जो भगवान हमारे अंदर बैठे हुए हैं, वो हमारे अंदर जो बैठे हैं वही मैं हूँ। इसकी अनुभूति बाबा हमको करवाना चाहते हैं। 126 प्रकार के मेडिटेशन है, लेकिन स्वामी ने हम सबको ज्योति मेडिटेशन दिया कि जिसकी प्रोसेस ही हमको, हम जो एक हैं, जो अंदर है वही सब जगह पर है, इसकी अनुभूति कर लेते प्रोसेस में ही। प्रोसेस ही हमको ऐसी है कि यहाँ से हमारे ज्योति, जो आत्मा स्वरूप ज्योति है, वो चलती है, जलती हुई, फिर हमारे इंद्रियों को ठीक करती है, बूढ़ी बॉडी ठीक होने, बॉडी को ज्योति स्वरूप बनाती है, फिर बॉडी से बाहर घर वालों को, घर की चीज़ों को, और एक्सपांड करते करते वो ज्योति का प्रकाश पास पड़ोस, हमारे रिश्तेदार, और एक्सपांशन करते करते पूरा यूनिवर्स उसमें कवर हो जाता है। कोई नहीं बचता, सिर्फ और सिर्फ स्वामी बचते हैं। और स्वामी सब जगह पर है ज्योति स्वरूप में। उसमें मैं जो है वो उस स्वरूप में एक रूप हो जाता हूँ, उसका ही नाम ध्यान है। जब हम ये ध्यान करते हैं तो पहली बात तो एक होती है कि हम सबसे जुड़ जाते हैं, और एकता से जुड़ते हैं, अलग बोल के नहीं जुड़ते। यहाँ हम जुड़ते भी हैं, लेकिन हमारे दिमाग में अलग है। जैसे एक छोटी सी बात स्वामी ने हम सबको बताई है कि कोई भी मिले तो उसको साईं राम बोलो। क्यों बोला है? क्योंकि मैं जिस साईं से प्यार करता हूँ वो सामने मेरे खड़ा, एक अलग रूप में खड़ा है, लेकिन मुझे याद दिलाना ये भी स्वामी है, इसलिए हम एक दूसरे को साईं राम बोलते हैं। लेकिन जब वेद नारायण सर सामने आते हैं और मैं साईं राम बोलता हूँ, तो बोलता तो साईं राम हूँ, लेकिन दिमाग में रहता है वेद नारायण सर आ गए। ये सही साईं राम नहीं है। सोच ये होना चाहिए कि जब मैं किसी को भी साईं राम बोलूं तो मेरे दिमाग में ये होना चाहिए कि ये भी बाबा का ही रूप है। जो स्वामी हमको बताना चाहते हैं, जहाँ हमको ले जाना चाहते हैं, जैसे दुस्तर ये जो लाइफ है बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, क्योंकि हम दूसरे को देखते हैं। आई सी यू, आई सी आई नहीं है। क्या करते हैं हम? आई सी ऑलवेज यू, दूसरे को देखते हैं। बोलिए, देखेंगे थोड़ा देर। आई सी यू बोलिए, बोलिए बोलिए बोलिए, फटाफट बोलिए। कहाँ पहुंचे? हॉस्पिटल में गए? वो डॉक्टर भी चले गए, माधुरी बहन।
सर, एट ऑपरेशनल लेवल कैसे हमारा व्यवहार रहेगा? जैसे अगर हम सब में भगवान देखते हैं जो हमारा लक्ष्य है, लेकिन एट ऑपरेशनल लेवल जैसे आप मान लीजिए एक अध्यापक हैं और आप किसी स्टूडेंट को ठीक करा, मतलब वो थोड़ा इनडिसिप्लिन है, तो उसमें आप स्वामी को देख रहे हैं, लेकिन आपको फिर भी उसको डिसिप्लिन कराना है। तो एट एन ऑपरेशनल लेवल आपका बिहेवियर कैसे रहेगा? आप अंदर से आप कैसे होंगे, बाहर कैसे होंगे?
क्योंकि जैसे अभी हमने बात की पहले ज्योति मेडिटेशन की, तो मैं दूसरे के साथ व्यवहार नहीं कर रहा हूँ। जब मैं ये सोच मेरी बनती है मेडिटेशन में कि सब कुछ एक ही है, तो मैं दूसरे के साथ व्यवहार नहीं कर रहा हूँ। जब भी आप किसी को ठीक कर रहे हैं ऑपरेशन में भी, तो आप अपने साथ व्यवहार कर रहे हैं। जब वही दूसरा वर्ड आएगा, आई सी आई, जब मैं अपने आप को देखूंगा तो मैं ठीक ही देखूंगा। और वो ठीक कैसे होगा, उसमें मैं दूसरा बोल के नहीं देखूंगा। दूसरा देखूंगा, जैसे मेरे हाथ से कोई गलती होती है तो हम आवाज करते हैं, ऐसा करते हैं। लेकिन वही गलती जब दूसरा करता है तो कैसा आवाज करते हैं? हाँ, राइट। ये गड़बड़ है, यही गड़बड़ निकालनी है। मेडिटेशन का पर्पस, भजन का पर्पस, वेदम का पर्पस, सभी स्पिरिचुअल प्रैक्टिस का पर्पस यही है कि द्वैत को खत्म करना और अपने आप को ही सब में अनुभव करना। ये बेस है। तो ध्यान का भी बेस, जो स्वामी ने मुझे उस दिन बताया ना कि आंखें बंद करो, सोचो। पहले तो सोच ठीक करनी पड़ेगी। नामस्मरण जो भजन का माध्यम से हम करते हैं या वेदम चैंटिंग से जो वाइब्रेशंस क्रिएट होता है, उसके बाद हमारे अंदर, क्योंकि भजन ध्यान के अंदर स्वामी ने और एक बात हमको बहुत बताई है कि ध्यान के पहले तू क्या करता है और ध्यान के बाद तू क्या करता है, इस पर तेरा ध्यान डिपेंड है। मतलब ध्यान करने वाला कुछ भी कर लेगा और ध्यान को बैठेगा और ध्यान हो जाएगा। तो राक्षस लोगों ने भी ध्यान किया है, और लेकिन वो बहुत डेंजर बने हैं, है ना। इसीलिए नाम हमको पवित्र भी बनाता है, एकाग्र भी बनाता है। क्योंकि जैसे अभी रवि भैया ने बताया कि जब आप नाम लेते हो तो उस नाम से हमारे थॉट, यहाँ वेबसाइट पासवर्ड है, यहाँ वेबसाइट क्रिएट होता है। जैसे आप सुबह से आप यहाँ बैठे हैं, कितने जनों के मन में जिलेबी वर्ड आया? जिलेबी का थॉट आया किसके मन में? बालूशाही, गुलाब जाम, इसमें से कुछ मिलने वाला नहीं है, लेकिन एक वर्ड ने क्या किया? थॉट क्रिएट किए। तो जैसे अब भगवान, जैसे सर ने बताया कि जब आप भगवान का नाम लोगे तो भगवान का वेबसाइट ओपन होता है, और भगवान का वेबसाइट ओपन होता है तो पवित्रता आती है। और उस पवित्रता के साथ हम जब ज्योति मेडिटेशन में बैठते हैं तो बैठने का भी एक तरीका है।
सर, अगर वो एक सभी के लिए अगर 5 मिनट में अगर डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन हो जाए सर, ताकि कम से कम 5 से आगे हम लोग घर जाके 10, 15, 20 मिनट जितना भी हो अपने, बट एक शुरुआती तौर पे एटलीस्ट 5 मिनट्स में अगर डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन हो पाता है।
वैसे स्वामी ने जो बताया है वो ध्यान ओनली 2 मिनट्स, ओनली 2 मिनट्स। उसका ज्ञानेश्वरी में उल्लेख है कि आप एक बार भगवान को याद करते हैं तो स्मरण है। अगर 12 बार भगवान को याद करते हो तो आपकी धारणा बनती है। इनटू 12 किया तो 2 मिनट्स एंड 24 सेकंड अगर आप बैठते हैं तो दैट इज ध्यान। लेकिन दूसरा थॉट नहीं आना चाहिए, कंटिन्यू है, उस प्रोसेस में कंटिन्यू है। हम करते हैं, एक सबसे अच्छा है, जैसे सर गाते हैं तो ऑटोमेटिकली सब कुछ हो जाता है, वैसे ही वेद नारायण सर जब चांट करते हैं तो ऑटोमेटिक सब होता है। वैसे मेडिटेशन हम करेंगे लेकिन लास्ट में करेंगे, है ना। पहले एक बार हम इस प्रोसेस को समझ ले कि ध्यान जो हमारा मॉडल है वो हमारे को सिर्फ हमारे आध्यात्मिक उन्नति के लिए ही काम करता है, ऐसा नहीं है। हमारे डे टू डे लाइफ में भी बहुत काम करता है। क्योंकि जिस काम को करने के लिए आधा घंटा लगता है, अगर आप मेडिटेशन करते हैं तो वही काम आपका 20 मिनट में होता है। तो आपने मेडिटेशन को सिर्फ 5 मिनट दिए, 2 मिनट्स दिए, लेकिन आपके 10 मिनट बचे हैं। जब आप पढ़ाई करने को बैठते हैं और आप मेडिटेशन करके पढ़ाई को बैठते हैं तो आपका जो आप जो पढ़ते हो वो डायरेक्ट अंदर जाता है। तो ये बेनिफिट हमारे को हर काम में, हर चीज़ में मेडिटेशन हमको हेल्प करता है। लेकिन उसके पहले मतलब सिर्फ मेडिटेशन डायरेक्ट नहीं हो सकता, इसीलिए हमारी सारी आदतें, हमारे को हमारा जीवन लाइफस्टाइल सब चेंज करना पड़ता है। लेकिन वो धीरे धीरे होगा। मेडिटेशन भी उसमें काम करेगा, हेल्प करेगा हमको। भजन भी हमको हेल्प करता है, वेदम भी हमको हेल्प करता है, और जितनी चीज़ें स्वामी ने हम सबको कही है, सेवा भी हमको ध्यान करने में हेल्प करती है। तो सारी चीज़ें हमको ध्यान करने में हेल्प करती है। तो मेडिटेशन आपके पास एक पावरफुल सोर्स है और उसका डायरेक्ट कनेक्शन आत्मा के साथ है। जैसे माइंड माइंड भी प्यूरिफाई उसमें होता है, माइंड की ताकत भी बढ़ती है, क्योंकि जब आप भगवान को प्रेयर करते हैं तो हम भगवान से बात करते हैं, लेकिन सर ने बताया कि इन द डेप्थ ऑफ साइलेंस जब हम जाते हैं तो वहाँ पर भगवान हमसे बात करते हैं, तो हमारे जो रोज का रूटीन का लाइफ है ना, वो भी बहुत इजी होता है। और एक मैं एग्जांपल बता के फिर हम मेडिटेशन के लिए करेंगे प्रैक्टिस, कि हमारे को बहुत सारे लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम रहते हैं। तो एक डॉक्टर ने स्वामी को कहा कि स्वामी क्या करूं, दिन भर प्रॉब्लम प्रॉब्लम प्रॉब्लम। स्वामी ने कहा जब भी तुम्हारे पास प्रॉब्लम आता है उसको अपॉइंटमेंट दो, उसको एक टाइम दो। 5 तुम्हारे पास कौन सा टाइम फ्री है? स्वामी 5 to 5:30 मेरे पास टाइम फ्री है। अब प्रॉब्लम कभी भी आता है उसको बोलना 5 o'clock आना, कौन सा भी प्रॉब्लम आने दो, उसको क्या बोलना 5 o'clock आना, 5 to 5:30, और 5 to 5:30 हमारे सामने बैठ जाना, आओ बोलना। अब जितना भी प्रॉब्लम आता है हम सॉल्व करता है, अंदर बैठे हुए भगवान हमारे साथ इतनी हेल्प हमारी, हम भी हमारे बारे में नहीं सोचते ना, उतना अंदर बैठ के वो हमारे बारे में सोचते। हमारा उनके पर ध्यान नहीं है, और इतना अगर हम कर ले कि अंदर बैठे हुए के साथ हमारी दोस्ती हो जाए ना, तो फिर सारे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व है। लेकिन अपॉइंटमेंट देना प्रॉब्लम को, लाना नहीं। तो विल सीट फॉर एक 5 मिनट, जल्दी करेंगे प्रोसेस, ऐसे 15-20 मिनट लगते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी प्रोसेस ही हम ऐसे फास्ट करेंगे। और अभी जितना मैं फास्ट करूंगा उतना जल्द खाना भी मिलेगा, है ना?
इसके बाद तुरंत उनको लंच के लिए जाना है, इसीलिए
मेरे साथ ऐसा ही होता है। मेरे को जब भी माइक मिलता है ना उसके बाद लंच रहता है। चलो हम बैठते हैं, आपको जिस पोजीशन में अच्छा लगता है बैठिए, लेकिन पीठ सीधी रखिए, इतना करिए। वैसे चिन्ह मुद्रा में बैठने से इजी है। चिन्ह मुद्रा मतलब ये भगवान है और ये उंगली जो है वो हम है, दोनों को जोड़ दो, अब बैठ जाओ। मन भटकता है, ध्यान में मन भटकता है, लेकिन हम जो मन काम करने वाला है वो इंद्रियों को अगर हम लॉक कर देते हैं तो मन भटकने के बाद भी कुछ कर नहीं सकता है। पाँव को फोल्ड करते हैं, चलने की प्रोसेस बंद, हाथों को हम लॉक कर देते हैं, कुछ करने की प्रोसेस बंद, आंखें बंद करते हैं, देखने की प्रोसेस बंद। इस प्रकार इंद्रियों, मन का जो काम करने वाले वर्कर्स है उनको हमने लॉक कर दिया। पहली बात ये की, तो इसलिए हम ध्यान पोजीशन में बैठते हैं। उसके बाद फिर भी मन नहीं बैठेगा। मेरे को बहुत सारे लोग पूछते हैं, मुरली भैया मन लगता नहीं है ध्यान में, क्यों नहीं लगता है? क्योंकि मक्खी की तरह है वो गंदगी में जाके भी बैठेगी, स्वीट पे भी जाके बैठेगी, लेकिन कभी अग्नि पे नहीं बैठेगी, क्योंकि उसको मालूम है यहाँ बैठे तो ख़त्म। तो मन जो डिज़ायर का बंडल है, वो बंडल ऑफ डिज़ायर जो है उसको अगर कंट्रोल करना है, उसको ख़त्म करना है, तो उसको इसलिए माइंड रेडी नहीं होता है। आपने वर्कर को निकालने के बाद भी, उसके सारे वर्कर निकालने के बाद भी, उसको लॉक करने के बाद भी वो प्रिपेयर नहीं होगा। लेकिन कैसे प्रिपेयर होगा? प्रिपेयर नहीं होगा, लेकिन पुरानी यादें आपको याद दिलाएगा। लेकिन फिर भी आप करते रहिए, धीरे 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 ये प्रोसेस। कभी छुट्टी नहीं लेना। मेडिटेशन में छुट्टी लेने से मन को बड़ा अच्छा लगता है, आज छुट्टी है, आज फिनिश होने का प्रोग्राम नहीं है, तो इसीलिए मन को कभी
माइक फिक्स कर देंगे सर आपके लिए।
इसीलिए हम पहले आंखें बंद करेंगे, हम डायरेक्ट स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं। वैसे शुरू में ज्योति लगा के 2 मिनट ज्योति को देखो, फिर आंखें बंद करो, फिर वो ज्योति हमारे कपाल के मध्य भाग में उसका दर्शन होता है, फिर उसको धीरे धीरे हार्ट में ले जाओ। ऐसी प्रोसेस रेगुलर है जो स्टार्टिंग के लिए है, लेकिन बाद में आप आंखें बंद करो और अपने हार्ट में भगवत स्वरूप ज्योति का दर्शन करना है। संपूर्ण हार्ट, भगवत स्वरूप ज्योति से प्रकाशित हुआ है। अब इस हार्ट में सिर्फ प्रेम होगा। धीरे धीरे ज्योति मस्तिष्क में लाना है। संपूर्ण मस्तिष्क भगवत स्वरूप ज्योति के प्रकाश से प्रकाशित हुआ है। अब इस मस्तिष्क में सब जगह तू ही तू है, मैं भी तू है, यही विचार रहेगा। धीरे धीरे ज्योति को आंखों में लाना है। दोनों आंखें परमात्मा स्वरूप ज्योति के प्रकाश से प्रकाशित हुए हैं। अब ये आंखें सभी जगह तेरा ही दर्शन करेंगे। धीरे धीरे ज्योति को कानों में लाना है। दोनों कान परमात्मा स्वरूप ज्योति के प्रकाश से प्रकाशित हुए हैं। अब इन कानों में हमेशा तेरा नाम होगा। जो भी शब्द इन कानों में आएंगे वो तुझसे जोड़ेंगे। धीरे धीरे ज्योति नासिकाग्र पर, नाक की टोक पर, संपूर्ण नाक परमात्मा स्वरूप ज्योति के प्रकाश से प्रकाशित हुआ है। श्वास लेते वक्त और छोड़ते वक्त सोहम ध्वनि, मैं वो हूँ, मैं वो हूँ। धीरे धीरे ज्योति जिह्वा पर, मुख के अंदर। अब इस मुख से हमेशा तेरा नाम होगा। इस मुख से सबको आनंद देने वाली, आह्लाद देने वाली, सबका हित करने वाली वाणी इस मुख से बाहर आएगी। जो अन्न इस मुख में आएगा उसको पवित्र करके पेट में भेजा जाएगा। धीरे धीरे ज्योति कंधों में, दोनों कंधे भगवान के ज्योति से प्रकाशित हुए हैं। पूरे संसार का बोझ उठाने की ताकत अब इस कंधों में आ गई है। धीरे धीरे ज्योति एक हाथ में को प्रकाशित कर कर, एक एक उंगली को प्रकाशित करके दूसरे हाथ में, दोनों हाथ परमात्मा स्वरूप ज्योति के प्रकाश से प्रकाशित हुए हैं। अब ये हाथ हमेशा भगवत कार्य में तत्पर रहेंगे। धीरे धीरे ज्योति को सीने में, सीने से पेट में, जो भी अन्न पेट में आएगा उससे शरीर को शक्ति, मन को भक्ति और बुद्धि को युक्ति प्रदान होगा। धीरे धीरे ज्योति मूलाधार से सहस्त्रदल तक सभी चक्रों को प्रकाशित करके पैर में जा रही है। जांघें, घुटने, पाँव के तलवों को प्रकाशित कर कर दूसरे पाँव में, जांघ, घुटना, एक एक उंगली पाँव की प्रकाशित करके दोनों पाँव परमात्मा स्वरूप ज्योति के प्रकाश से प्रकाशित हुए हैं। अब ये पाँव तुम्हारी दिशा में चलेंगे। भगवत कार्य में भ्रमण करने के लिए पाँव हमेशा तत्पर रहेंगे। संपूर्ण शरीर परमात्मा स्वरूप ज्योति के प्रकाश से प्रकाशित हुआ है। अब ये शरीर परोपकारार्थम इदम शरीरम, धीरे धीरे ज्योति शरीर से बाहर प्रकाश फैलाती हुई घर के हर व्यक्ति में, घर के हर चीज़ में को प्रकाशित कर रही है। घर की हर व्यक्ति पवित्र और प्रेममय बन रही है। घर की हर चीज़ उपयोगी बन रही है। धीरे धीरे प्रकाश घर से बाहर पास पड़ोस, रिश्तेदार, पहचान वाले सब में प्रकाश फैला रही है। सब पवित्र और प्रेममय बन रहे हैं। धीरे धीरे प्रकाश पूरे गांव में, शहर में, जिले में, पूरे राज्य में फैला हुआ है। प्रकाश और बढ़ रहा है। पूरे देश को परमात्मा स्वरूप ज्योति के प्रकाश से प्रकाशित हुआ है। सभी पवित्र और प्रेममय बन रहे हैं। प्रकाश देश से परदेश, परदेश से पूरे पृथ्वी में फैल चुका है। सभी पवित्र और प्रेममय बन रहे हैं। प्रकाश और फैल रहा है। पृथ्वी, जल, अग्नि, वायु, आकाश, सूर्य, चंद्र, तारांगण सब में एक ही प्रकाश फैल रहा है। सब पवित्र और प्रेममय बन रहे हैं। प्रकाश और फैल रहा है। अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड में, गोचर सृष्टि में, अगोचर सृष्टि में परमात्मा स्वरूप ज्योति के प्रकाश का फैल रहा है। अब सब जगह एक ही प्रकाश है। परमात्मा स्वरूप ज्योति का प्रकाश। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ओम शांति शांति। एकता, पवित्रता और भगवत्ता इन तीनों का भाव हमारे अंदर बढ़ता है। ज्योति मेडिटेशन रोज करने से अपना जीवन बहुत सुंदर बनता है। सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम। ओम श्री साई राम।
Sai Ram. We thank all the three elders for their valuable insights on Vedam, Bhajans, and Dhyana. In Bhagavad Vayani, Swami explains that when the mother has to switch the child from milk to rice, she makes boiled rice, she makes it a paste, and she persuades the child to take that rice. The child will resist, but her persuasion continues till the child develops that taste for the rice. And after that, the child cannot stay without rice even for a day. In the same way, when we take upon something new, whether it is Vedam, Bhajan, or Dhyana, initially there will be resistance from your mind. So you have to be your own mother, coax yourself, and continue the practice till you develop the taste for it. With that insight, we'll close this session. There's a request for one bhajan from Ravi sir. Okay.
दिन दुखियों से प्रेम करो मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा। दिन दुखियों से प्रेम करो मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा। साई मेरा मैं तेरा ये प्रेम की बहती धारा। साई मेरा मैं तेरा ये प्रेम की बहती धारा। ये प्रेम की बहती धारा। ये प्रेम की बहती धारा। मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा। मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा। मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा। मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा। दीन दुखियों से प्रेम करो मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा।